Alright, so today's episode we can probably just go straight into a boss fight. We do have Leviathan, Astromaris, and Golem that we can fight. Now Golem will be the gatekeeper before we go and fight the other bosses, before we eventually fight the Moonlord. But we want to try and not die to Golem 100 times, so I am going to be checking out Leviathan, because Leviathan definitely seems like the boss that I'll be able to defeat, probably. I did go and grab the Murasama, which, if you do not know, it is all the way down here in the bottom right corner of the map in the Hell laboratory. Now, I did delete it on accident because I wanted to put it on an item frame and be like, look, we could get this. But if you put a modded item in a weapon frame, it deletes the item. It's great. And then I accidentally put the Ark of the Ancients in, trying to take the other one out because I'm a genius. So I had to make a new Ark of the Ancients, and I had to go into another world and get the Murasama. But we did it. It totally... None of that happened, don't worry, it's fine. And we also got the Cinder Plate, which is called Chaos Plate. Now, all of these plates give different things. Like this one's going to be needed for the Normality Relocator, and the Navy Plate's going to be needed for Eldritch Soul, which gives melee speed. It just gives a bunch of bonuses for certain people. The Chaos one gives the Profane Soul Artifact when we can make it. And it's just like, it's just a nice thing to have, which then turns into like an upgraded version. It's just a cool thing to have that's like, hey, you could make that if you wanted to. But yeah, we're pretty much as powered up as we could possibly be before going and fighting Golem. But we can always fight Leviathan and the other boy beforehand, just so that we get a little bit more fighting in. And you know, Anita's going to spawn right away every time, so we might as well get the fight going. I did not know that it rippled this much, holy cow. Oh, are you kidding me? We go directly into the fight? Also, apparently I don't fly high enough? Oh no, I do. That's good. I did not know that this fight was changed. I thought that it was going to be exactly the same, which is an Anita fight until we get Anita really low, and then we go into a Leviathan and Anita fight. But I guess it's just straight into a Leviathan fight. Or maybe we accidentally killed her. I don't know. You wouldn't think that we'd accidentally kill her when we're on level, dealing the amount of damage that they would expect. I mean, we're not doing much damage at all to them. Like, we're going pretty on level here. This fight's pretty nice. I like it. I really like I don't like the Anita part all that much, but I do like the flow of dealing with these little ads and dealing with the meatballs, and just the nice little rhythm of going around and dancing with Leviathan. It's kind of nice. Anita showed up for a second there. Is she back, or is it still just him? Still just my boys. Just me and Leviathan duking it out. You know, it's gonna be a long fight, but I guess it's fine. I kind of expected to be fighting like the normal phase one. That's kind of cool that they decided to change it. Oh, here's the Anita fight. And now it's both at the same time, I guess. Yep, both at the same time. That's fun. Just skip out on the killing Anita most of the way fight. That seems totally fine. The convenient thing about killing Anita most of the way is then you don't have to fight both of them pretty much the entire time. But now, like, neither of them are even at half HP. And I have to fight both of them. And now you have to deal with all these projectiles. This is pretty bad. It would help if the Tyrant Sword was a little bit quicker. Or if we could get Legendary on our amazing Beat Saber, because this thing is really bad. it's only able to get godly. Because, I mean, honestly, legendary, like, makes the melee viable. Anything that can't be legendary is pretty bad. We might be able to switch over to a yo-yo, I don't know. Our best yo-yo is a basic, I think it's vanilla. I think it's a vanilla yo-yo, I'm not entirely sure, but this is our best yo-yo right now, which is kind of sad because definitely not the best yo-yo I can think of in that mid-hard mode, mid to early hard mode. Or definitely not the coolest yo-yo. Oh, we got some melee proficiency. In the middle of a boss fight. Alright, I think it's pretty won, unless there's a crazy extra phase. We did get drops for Anita. I did not realize that you could do that. But yeah, we're done with Anita. We're now just on Leviathan, and Leviathan isn't really that big of a boy to fight, in my opinion. He's not that tough when he doesn't have Anita with him. Like, Anita is honestly the danger of the Leviathan fight. So I think Leviathan's pretty much a cakewalk from here on out. We just have to not die to the meatballs, which isn't that tough to do. Unless he just cheeses like that and walks in front of you and just stands there and is like, yeah, I'm gonna be here, by the way. Which is something that he does often, which is annoying. But yeah, I guess you just gotta deal with it. Because he wants to get on your level to dash at you, but he also wants to be on a specific side of you when he dashes at you. Because he wants to always dash left, right, left, right, left, right. So I guess it's annoying. Could be pretty annoying from time to time, but just gotta deal with it and accept the fact that this yo-yo is hitting a lot of times, so I'm using it. Even though it's not the best. Definitely not the best thing we could be having right now, but it's a good weapon for sure. Also, these guys are really mad right now, and the munchies are dangerous. Very dangerous. Alright, this should be the last little bit of adrenaline here. Not quite. Not quite enough to kill. But there we go. We got the W. We did it. We beat the boss on the first try. And this is why I think some people have said, like, you're having it way too easy. Like, it doesn't really seem like I'm having it way too easy. I have hardly anything, like, the fights are taking a while. That took a while. That took 10 minutes. That was a 10-minute fight. So, if you think the fight's taking not very long, you're wrong. But, like, there's not really much else I can do. I can't really make it more difficult. It's death mode. They have 50% more HP. And I have nothing that makes me more powerful in a bursty sense. It's only more, like, over a long amount of time am I more powerful. So, I don't think it's really that big of an issue. Things that we got a melee weapon. Very nice. We got Hotline Fishing Rod, which is very good. Rogue weapon, a summon weapon, magic. We got a new hat, which is nice. Oh yeah, we got Hades die, which is very nice. We also got an equipable, which is cool, as well as another equipable, which is the water waifu. Yeah, the water waifu, which will be nice later on. What does this bad boy do? 20 defense. Poisonous seawater behind us. 30% increased movement speed, 10% increase to all damage, plus 10 defense while submerged in liquid. Okay. If you're damaged in liquid, you will gain a damaging aura for a short time. Outside of liquid, increases all damage by 5% and increases damage reduction by 5%. Okay. That's cool. The Green Tide. Now this weapon is probably bad. And that's why it's not on the list of things that we should go with. It's because it's melee. Summons teeth from the sky on hit. Okay. I could see that being useful in a non-boss fight sense. And then obviously we got the Ocean and Leviathan. So for the Ocean, take care not to disturb the deep waters of this world. You may awaken something more terrifying than death itself. It wasn't that terrifying, honestly. Leviathan and Anita, an odd pair of creatures. one seeking companionship, and the other seeking sustenance. Haha, it's a fat joke. Perhaps two genetic misfits outcast from their homes that found comfort in assisting one another. I messed that up, but I don't care. Reading is tough, especially when you're trying to read something in a nice voice, while also reading it for the first time in months, literal months, having never rehearsed it or anything. I think that's good enough. So that was Leviathan. Honestly, pretty good fight. I don't know if we can get anything else from her. Oh yeah, we can get the community from probably Malice mode, which is annoying because Malice mode's so bad. And then yeah, just rogue stuff as well as like convenient stuff. So not really anything else from her. Astrum RS will have to go over to the other world to fight, but I think we can just go straight to Golem and see how Golem fight is. I think we can do that this episode. I'll probably do that this episode. Yeah, because I'm going to be cutting out a bunch of the fight, if I remember to. I remember that I forgot to cut out some of my coughs from like earlier this week's episode, so I felt a little bit bad about that. But not bad enough to delete it and then bring it back. Just like, hey, I'm sick. My life hurts. This is what it feels like. We're going to get the jungle teleportation potion because... Guys, we explored the jungle temple. Am I right or am I right? Convenience is nice. We're going to grab from a few of these chests just some things that we're going to need. Like a mimic. Ooh, a rusty knife. See, this is another thing. Like, should I get something that makes the fights not take quite as long? Because if I do, like, I legitimately can right now. I could legit make it so that fights take a little bit less time. So that the fights that I actually struggle with, I'll not be struggling with as much because I have more DPS. Because the golem fight I'm going to struggle with because it's such a difficult fight in my opinion. What Rusty Knife does is it makes... Holy cow, this room is, like, really well situated already. Wait, does it have no entrance? Oh, it does. Alright. Let me inform you of the glorious wonders of this, this Rusty Knife. I'm pretty sure, unless it's different than I remember it, it's, 10% chance to bleed for like, I don't know, like 200% damage. 4 times 30, so 120% damage, but it's going to be less because it's affected by their armor. So I think that's fine, honestly. Like, it falls under the line of how weak the sticky bomb is. Like, sure, it's high chance at 10%, but it's still like super low actual damage buff that I think it's totally fine. And of course we're just gonna go straight into the golem fight because screw dialogue. But speaking of dialogue, like, I started watching, well, I watched the first 2 episodes because that's all that's out right now. I watched the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan, which is nice because it's kind of cool to see that they want to add more story between Darth Vader, well, like, the background of Darth Vader and, you know, kind of the story of how Darth Vader dies. Which is basically just the original trilogy is just that, yeah, that's Darth Vader from his, like, I am a menace that everyone knows to I'm dead. Like, that's literally all that happens in Darth Vader's storyline, pretty much, is just he dies. And he also isn't a bad guy anymore. But that's pretty much it, honestly. There's, like, nothing else. And it's kind of sad to see that that's all that it was. Really, like, thinking about it, like, I'm pretty sure it gets 40 minutes of screen time in the 3 movies, which is pretty bad. That's pretty bad if you want to say that something has anything to do with a certain character, to say that they don't even get, like, 20 minutes of screen time per movie. That's pretty bad. So it'll be cool to see like what they actually add for him, like how much of the story will actually be about Obi-Wan plus Anakin, or if it'll just be about Obi-Wan trying to defend Luke and Leia as children, and hilariously making jokes about how the fact that they're like totally not normal kids and nobody notices. But like in the I think it was the first episode, there was actually a scare where it's like, oh, this is where they're gonna pull in the Mandalorian, and it's like, well, that's kind of sad, like that the first episode is when they're gonna start making it about Din Djarin instead of about Obi-Wan. But of course, like, no Baby Yoda, because Baby Yoda was after Vader dies, not before, so, you know, it's fine. I think it's interesting to see, like, all the like, storyline. Because all the shows, I'm pretty sure they're canon. They should be canon. That'd be dumb if they're not. Like, maybe some of the Clone Wars, because it's just a kids show. But, like, and maybe Bad Batch, because that's also a bit, like, super jokey. But, like, I hate this fight. It's so bad. And it takes forever, too. Like, this is literally dragging on for so long. I hate Golem. I could try and parry these particle effects, but the problem with the parry is it's not hit scan. You have to, sorry, it's not like immediate parry. You have to time it with your swings so that you're not accidentally trying to attack at the same time that you're parrying. Like, you're not parrying in the middle, like in the second half of a swing in the recovery animation, which is kind of annoying. But I guess it makes sense. Like, you don't want to be able to just insta-parry. You kind of have to be able to think about parrying a little bit. I made this platform, like, slightly too low, which is kind of annoying. But, I mean, we'll make it. We'll make it through the fight. I hate it so bad. Like, there's so many particle effects, and I'm trying to talk about something, and, like, and it's just the Golem fight, and disgusting. And I feel like I missed like one or two of those pills that makes your gauges better, because my gauges are so bad. Like, can I please get my rage meter? Oh, my rage meter is full. I was like, can I please get my rage meter to 100%? It's at like 98 for like forever now. I legit thought it wasn't at 100%. But yeah, it would be nice getting to see like where this story goes. It's actually really cool, like seeing Ewan McGregor acting more, as well as I think it's funny when people are like, dude, imagine like the 19 years between this and this. How does this guy turn into an old man? And not a lot of people think about the fact, like, when you're going from like, your 40s to your 60s, kind of turn into an old person, like low-key, 100%. That's when the transformation starts. And if you're on a desert planet, kind of gets a little bit sped up. Not gonna lie, it's a little bit sped up. But people don't really think about that. Like he was just done being a Padawan when Anakin showed up as a kid. And then he had to wait until Anakin wasn't a kid anymore to start. Well, never mind. He had to raise Anakin up to the point in which Anakin was a young adult. So at least like 22 before Anakin became, you know, evil and started destroying the universe. And then after that, you've got all this storyline. Like 19 years. 19 years is quite a while. And if you're in the worst circumstances of being hunted constantly and having to deal with trying to low-key protect people's lives without them knowing, it kind of gets painful. Kind of gets difficult for some reason. I don't know why. So that was Golem. honestly not tough. I think we're just in that part. I'm gonna do this as well, because I thought I did it last time, but I'm gonna do this as well. We're gonna get rid of that, just in case it's healing us too much. I don't think it is, because I don't see the 8s all that often, honestly. But if it is, now it isn't. There's literally nothing. The only thing healing us is Reaver now, when we still have Reaver. We did get Beetle Husks, which will make us into Beetle Boy, which I'm pretty sure is... Is it enough? It is enough, thank goodness. So we're going to get the Beetle Boy Armor, and then what does this do? It increases our defense. It gives us... Yeah, we need the Beetle Boy everything. And this requires 8. 8. 8. That's 16. This is 6, and that's way too much. So we need to fight him again, which sucks. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to not have the wings. And we're just going to go with the Ice Wing Mantle thing. The Ice Wing Mantle thing. And then switch off of it after we fight Beetle again. Just because I don't want to... I don't want to fight that. I really don't. That was so annoying. That was also another 10 minutes of my life just gone. So... We got Golem. A primitive construct. I admire the lizard race for their ingenuity, though finding faith in such a flawed idol would inevitably lead to their downfall. Of course it would. Things that we can do now, after we've killed Golem, is we can go do pretty much anything we want in the pre-Moonlord era, which would be Astrum Deus, all of the lunar stuff, the Ravager, Duke Fishron, Betsy, Plaguebringer, and the Martian event. So, and Astrum Aris, of course. So I think what we're going to be doing is we're going to fight Astrum Aris. I think Astrum Aris lets us fight Astrum Deus. Lets us mine the ore, I'm sorry. So I think we're going to be doing that. And then we're going to be doing some other stuff. But that has to be done on the other world, and I'll have some prep to do for that. But before I do the prep for that, I'll probably finish off today's episode. We'll see if we can't make anything kind of cool, but I doubt that we can. Oh, this is good. This just gives us all of these stats with no requirements. 8 defense, 10% speed, 4% damage, 2% crit. That's actually pretty good. I'm gonna take that. Right? This gives us the damage, right? Wait. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, it gives us the damage. The Ice Mantle gives us damage too, but it's really slow. So hopefully these wings will be better. Like how much horizontal speed? 7.7. Vertical speed's the same still, but we have 1 acceleration still. So that's nice. We're gonna make the Beetle Armor, though. Because we need our boy, the Beetle Armor. Because this armor is gonna be the only thing keeping us from dying. This is where we decide if we want Scale Mail or the Shell. I think the Scale Mail's better, right? Yeah, it gives us more damage. And more crit chance. As well as better movement speed. The targeting doesn't really matter when we're the only person in the game. So I think we're going to go with the Bruiser strat rather than the tanky strat. And this will give me Beetles increased melee damage and speed. So I have the Beetles that spawn around me and try to help me out with stuff, which is very nice. What else? I'm like very fast with this too, like really fast. What else do I want to be doing? I don't know if there's really anything else. We could go get Scoria ore. I'm actually gonna go do that. That's a good idea. Grab up some nice Scoria ore really quick. Because, you know, might as well. No reason not to. Try and get some Scoria ore, which we can because we have the pick saw now. Just to fill out the episode a little bit more, because we do have like 5 minutes that are gone because I'm just going to cut him out from the fight, because it was just me being like, and I'm waiting for the fight to be over, and I'm waiting for the fight to be over, and I'm waiting for the fight to be over. We did get the... How did I go through this? Excuse me? We did get Tenebris. We can grab this, but I don't think we need any more of it, honestly. Is this all Tenebris? That's so much. I don't know how much, like, is needed for stuff, but I'll just grab it, honestly. I mean, it's there. I don't know how much of it has actually Tenebris, because it doesn't glow very well. This right here, that's Tenebris too. Like, this is crazy. How much of it actually is. I never, like, notice how much of it is transformed. I usually just go grab, like, all of it ever, as much as I possibly can, because there isn't really that much most of the time. But there's Tenebris. That should be more than enough. And then we need to grab some Scoria ore, which of course is used to make the all-powerful life alloys, which we would, yes, we would love to have that. That would be very good. Scoria ore, life alloys are going to be doing some serious upgrading for us. I think we're going to go from, like, pretty powerful to, oh my goodness, we're pretty insanely OP. Which will be very nice, like, having that type of transformation is very nice, especially when, like, when you're rogue, you don't really get that transformation ever. You're pretty much always on par with the bosses, because your kit requires you to not be fighting stuff for a while to do damage, so you don't really notice the fact that you're, like, super OP Mega Man, because you have to wait so long, which I guess that's another reason why I wanted to have prolonged boss fights, because then it'll feel a bit more like my favorite class, and a bit less like we're just beating the crap out of stuff. But I mean, we're kind of just beating the crap out of stuff, to the point in which we had to make them more powerful to make it fair. Like, let's be real here. That's literally what I did. I made bosses more OP so that it could be a bit more fair. That's like an anime thing right there. The bosses, the bad guys were just a bit weak, so I gave them a power up so that it could be a bit more of a fair fight between us. Yeah, we'll see what we can't craft with all this stuff once I get back. But yeah, I'll probably just do that all off screen, just because crafting isn't really that fun, and I usually, like, when I'm going through the video, seeing if there's anything I need to remove, there's a lot of me looking at... I'm not going to try and fight him. I don't have anything better. There's a lot of me looking at the video and being like, man, I'm just sitting here in front of this crafting window talking so much. So I'm going to try my best not to do that. So, here, look at all the things that we can craft. Well, this is a little bit disappointing. All that we could make... Actually, all that we can make with the life alloy unlock, because we need more stuff, is Typhon's Greed, which doesn't even take life alloys. It was just something I noticed because I was looking at what Tenebris I could make. But for life alloys, we need pretty much for everything. So, like, Aquatic Dissolution requires us to kill Providence. The Arc upgrade requires us to get Galactic Singularities, which is Moonlord. If we wanted to get True Biome Blade, we need to kill the Astral guys, so that'll be a little bit. It'll probably be next episode. Omni Blade, we need to kill Calamitous a few more times, because 1 Core Calamity costs 1 Ash of Calamity, and you get like 10 from every 10 ashes from each kill of Calamitous, so it takes a little bit. But that's pretty much it. Like, there's nothing else really that we can make with just these. And then, in case you were wondering, Scoria has a few things, but they aren't materials, so I don't really bother. except for Paladin's Hammer, which we need Paladin's Hammer for. But other than that, that's pretty much all that we can make. So I'm going, and I also need ectoplasm. So I'm going to be going and getting a whole bunch of ectoplasm between episodes, as well as trying to get some of the drops that are rare, so that we can get some more upgrades. Hopefully, that'll be a thing that happens instead of not happening. But we did get the advanced display, which sadly, all it does is put that on there so that we can decrypt another thing and find more stuff that we can't make. Because again, looking at life alloys, if we want to make our new, like, the best weapon that we have, which we learned like 16,000 years ago, we still need to kill Plaguebringer Goliath to be able to fight that. So that'll still be a little while, so that sucks. But I'll see you guys in the next episode, I guess.